Here it is 6, almost 7 o'clock in the evening on April 2nd. I was planning on starting my reading vlog earlier, but I had so much R&D stuff to do. It is the first couple of days of April, and I always spring clean April 1st, and I just had a bunch of stuff I had to get done. I also am going to the city tomorrow to go see the Ronnie Choshke event and see some friends. I'm really excited. Or the Aurelium readathon started today, which again I'm super excited about. But reading wise, I haven't read nothing. I read 14 pages of Tristan Storm Punches a Hole in the Sky. That is it. So my goal is to read a little bit more of this. I have like a 3-hour commute tomorrow to even get to the city. So, or like an hour and a half getting there, an hour and a half coming home. So I probably will make a significant amount of progress just on my commutes tomorrow. And I'm going to see some friends. But I haven't got any reading done today. But the only good news is that I catched up on my podcast, so I can actually listen to like audiobooks at work next week, which is great. So, but I'm going to go start this, see how much progress I can make. And then when I get up to page 50, if that happens, I'll update you guys. Bye, friends. We're here. I'm back. Don't mind my Christmas shirt. It's just really, really warm. But I am pleased to report that I was able to attend my first physical in-person book event today. It was really exciting. I also went shopping with my friends. We exchanged a bunch of books, which tends to happen. Like, my friend Sarah bought me some books. My friend Jen bought me some books. I didn't bring them any books. I think I bought them like one each. But I hope to retract that the next time we see each other, which is going to be soon. And then we went to the Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality event, which was really, really fun. I have a picture that I'm probably going to post on my Instagram. It was great. I mentioned in the previous clip, my commute was an hour and a half longer than normal, so I actually got a significant amount of Tristan Storm Punches a Hole in the Sky by Kwame Mabali. I'm really liking this book quite a bit. It's just very fun, I will say that, but also really, really informative, because you basically take these African American folk heroes and West African gods in a story, and you follow this guy named Tristan Storm, obviously, and his family is very into boxing, and he is believed to be very, like, he's basically put on this pedestal, but he loses his first match after his best friend dies, and I think he feels a lot of guilt about that. We haven't really got to why he feels so much guilt, but I'm about halfway done. And he goes to spend the summer with his grandparents, and his grandpa is very much like, you are going to do things this way, and his grandma's a little bit more easier. But one day, the journal that him and his best friend were working on, compiling all these African American myths, starts glowing, and a character named Gum Baby comes and steals the journal, and that sends Tristan on an adventure to try to figure out what's happening, and he gets sucked into this parallel universe. It's really good. I'm devouring it. It's really great. I love this author on Twitter so much. And as I was running around the city like a crazy person, 3 tasks for the Aurelium readathon have dropped. So, one of the tasks was to steal a book from someone's TBR. This might be a little bit cheating, but I think I'm going to do Tristan Storm, because technically this is on everyone's TBR for the Avengers readathon, because this is a group book, so it's on 4 pours in a book. I was reading it anyway. It might be a little bit of cheating, but I do have 2 other books. So this is going to be the book I'm going to start the readathon with, and then the other thing is a 5-star read prediction, and one is a new to you author. So I don't know what I'm going to read, but those are like the prompts I'm going to focus on this week, so I can get those points, and I'm going to kind of make sure that they're all like books for the readathon anyway, but this is the first one I'm going to keep reading. So yeah, I'm going to go read this. My goal is to get up to at least maybe like 350 pages, if that's doable tonight. And I also really need to like watch something. I have not watched anything in a very, very long time, so I need to just pick something to watch and just focus on it. I've been really distracted the past 2 weeks, so yeah, I'm gonna go do that just because of Bridgerton. Bridgerton made me super distracted, and now just all I want to do is rewatch Bridgerton, and I'm struggling. So I'm gonna go read a little bit more of this. I have a true crime case to catch up on, and then I'm going to probably relax. I have work tomorrow. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, friends. So I just want to do a quick update. It is Monday, the 4th of April. I had a full day of work. I had actually a meeting after work. We took a little bit of break with meetings during Omicron, but we're back. Yeah, it was a good day. nothing really exciting. We're heading into like the end of the year basically. We have April, well, really May is our only full month basically, minus a few days off. But we're getting down to the crunch. They're starting to talk about next year. I am pleased to report that I have about 100 pages left of Tristan Storm Punches a Hole in the Sky. I still don't know what this book is going to count for. If I'm going to do a new author, a new to me author. I don't know. It's going to count for something for Aurelium. I just haven't decided what. It's also a book on my Aurelium TBR. For a book that was at the top of my TBR list. So I don't know. I have to really decide and see what I want to do. But my goal is to finish this tonight and then move on to something new. I'm excited though. So I'm going to go keep reading this. I also am really far behind my audiobook. I think I rewound a bunch of it. So I think I'm officially caught up now where I was for Between Devil and Desire by Lorraine Heath. I didn't get a lot of grading done today either, but that's okay. So I'm going to go read this, try to find some background noise, try to make my way through my YouTube queue as well, because that tends to get a little bit chaotic. And then I think I'm going to just keep watching Dairy Girls tonight, which I started watching yesterday. So I'm going to go read for a little bit, and when I read about 50 pages, I will give you guys an update. Bye, friends. Here I'm back. I am getting a bit tired. Monday, I'm always a little bit tired, and yesterday was a city day, so I feel like I'm like a little bit more exhausted than normal. But I do have about 50 pages left of Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky. I would say this book is definitely a little bit longer than I would have liked. But again, I'm reading an arc. This book came out in early 2019. It's possible this book has been substantially edited since it has been completed. But I have really liked it overall. I really like Tristan Storm's character. I think his development of dealing with grief was... What? I thought she was. But her ability of dealing with grief was really interesting, a very, very interesting journey. I also really like learning more about African American mythology and West African gods. I think that development was really interesting because it's really a concept that I have no idea about. I'm really liking it though. And I'm really liking the side characters. I think it's been very, very interesting. So my goal is to finish this tonight and then sort of choose my next read. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I have to read a book from someone else's TBR and a 5-star read prediction. So I don't know what I'm going to choose. I might choose Nectar of the Gods by Arusha, that series ender, but I don't know. So that's kind of where my head's at. But that's also a blog tour book as well. So I don't know. I'm going to finish reading this hopefully and then check in with you guys and sort of decide what I'm going to read. But I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, friends. I just want to say that it is almost 8 o'clock, and I did finish Tristan Storm Punches a Hole in the Sky. I really like this book. I thought it was very fun. It also was, I think the whole purpose of this imprint is to just give you connections to other mythologies, and I really did like that. I think this book was a little bit overlong, but again, this is an arc that I got, I think we got this from ALA the last time ALA occurred, so it's been a bit, so I really don't blame them. I feel like there may have been some editing done. Just looking at the second book, it's a lot shorter, so maybe it's overlong. I gave it 4 stars. I'm really excited to read book 2. So the next book I'm going to focus on for this reading vlog is When the Night Breaks by Janelle Angelis. This is the second book in the When Dreams Descend series. It's going to fit a 5-star read prediction because I really did like book 1 in the series. And it also does have a romance component to it as well. So this is going to be the next book that I read. I hope tomorrow I will also make some progress on my audiobook as well. But this will be my read, and it will be the romance book for my Aurelium readathon as well. So it will kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I did gain 10 points with this, so that's great. And then my last book for this reading vlog, if I'm able to finish it, is a book stolen from someone's TBR, which I haven't really watched any TBR videos, so I don't have one to steal. But my plan is, once I get closer to the end of this, is to watch some TBR videos. Maybe I could steal a book from someone's TBR. But yeah, I'm going to read this tomorrow. Again, I'm a little bit tired, but I did read my first book in April, so that's really exciting. So I'm going to go watch some TV, relax, decompress, give my eyes a break. Monday's always my most tiredest day. I did fall asleep pretty early last night, like as sleeping, which doesn't always happen, but it happened yesterday. So I'm going to go rest. We'll see if I'm motivated to read a little bit of When the Night Breaks, but I might not. I might just save it for tomorrow. Bye, friends. Here I'm back. It is April 8th. I'm about to start a weekend, and it's been a bit since I've had a weekend where I really just sat down and read. The past couple of weekends I've just been a bit busy. I've had stuff to do and errands and all that fun stuff, so I really just want to take this weekend and relax. I have break next week. I have to film a little bit this weekend at some point, but I really just want to take the day and relax. And I never do that on Fridays. I'm always like, come home and I have a bunch of errandy stuff to do. I'm not actually going to yoga tomorrow, so I can take the time and just relax. I had a bit of a rough reading week. I started this reading vlog 4 times and wound up putting it down, but I did start When the Night Breaks and realized I read When Her Dreams Descend at the start of the pandemic, and I'm struggling to remember most of the plot of this book, like severely. So I'm currently in the middle of 2 audiobooks, the John Green nonfiction book, which I am really liking. I tend to read that while I'm grading. I'm grading a lot right now at work, so that's been my nonfiction read. And I just picked up the 4th Veronica Speedwell book, and I'm really liking it so far. I only listened to like an hour, but I want to get back to doing some themed reading vlogs. This weekend I'm just going to sort of try to catch up on my e-arc, so I don't have any tour books for the end of the month. So I'm in the middle of reading Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality. I went to the tour that on Sunday, was really impressed with it. I'm about 135 pages into this book. It's the 5th book in a series. I'll probably talk spoilers at the very, very end of this, but I really am liking it. Her writing style is really, really fun. And I feel like all the characters throughout this whole book, even though it is an Aru-centered story, you do get different point of views. And I feel like because Ronnie, Choshke really let each character sort of develop in each book that you sort of met them, that you really feel invested in all of the characters in the story. And that's something that's hard to do in a middle grade, but books, I just really am liking it. So I think I'm going to take some time and try to decompress with this and just sort of read. The week before break is always a little bit stressful, and the kids are feeling it. I am feeling it. Sorry for my hoarse voice. It just always happens. But yeah, we also did get some possible good news about the puppy we're going to take in, so I'm really excited about that. Nothing's official, but I'm hopeful. So that's exciting to report as well. But I'm going to go get up to page 150, and then I'm going to give you guys a quick update and see how I'm feeling. Also, I did finish watching Dairy Girls yesterday, which was really, really adorable. Definitely a very, very heartfelt, warm, it just was like a warm hug. Nicolette Coughlin, who's in Bridgerton, is in that as well, and I really liked it. So I'm going to go read a little bit more of this, try to find something to watch, and I will report back. Bye, friends. Do a quick update. It is a little bit past 6:30. I did wind up getting up to page 160 in Arusha. I really am liking this book. This book is probably the closest series that reminds me of Percy Jackson, which actually makes a lot of sense because this was the first one published in that series, and it probably follows that series the closest. So if you have someone that loves Percy Jackson and likes the way that series was structured, I would highly recommend this series. I also really like that every character sort of gets their moment, and this is like the final book in the series for the moment, so I like that like every character is getting an end point, like getting like a big moment. I think that's really important. Unlike the Percy Jackson series, at least, well, I guess very, very similar to the first book, the romance or the potential of romance is really not the focus of this book. And I like that. I think it's like an undercurrent, and I do like it. I just love all the characters. They're very, very sweet. They're very, very endearing. I've grown to care about them all. This is definitely a series that I would love to re-listen to one day because I think I would really enjoy it. I think I listened to 2 of the books. Yeah, I think I listened to 2 of them, and then I wound up reading the last couple, and I read the first one. But I'm really liking it. It's very, very fun. It's a very, very quick read, honestly. Like, once I got into it, it's very, very quick. But I'm really liking it, so I'm going to go read a little bit more, and I'll give you guys another check-in. Bye, friends. Here, I'm back. It's actually Thursday night. I actually did wind up putting down When the Night Breaks by Janella Angelis. Has nothing to do with the book. I just think that I read this book in early quarantine, like right when the pandemic began, and I think I forgot a lot of it, so I'm going to have to, I actually bought the audiobook because my Audible credit came in, so I think I'm just going to try to listen to it at some point, maybe, and then I'm going to pick this book up again. So I'm actually going to take this book off my TBR and try to find something else to read for that prompt, which I think is romance and a sequel, so I can find something, but I'm going to take this one off my TBR for the moment. But I am pleased to report that I did wind up finishing Between Devil and Desire by Lorraine Heath, which is my audiobook for the day, or not for like the week. That actually worked for romance, so for Aurelium, that book is done, which is really exciting. I liked it. I think I like book 1 a little bit more, but I'm really excited for book 3. Hopefully I'll get to read it at some point this month. But I did wind up picking up Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality by Ronnie Choshke. I did go to a book signing for this on Sunday, so it has been on my mind. It is also a blog tour book, so I am going to try to make some progress on this tonight, like as I'm just, I just got home from work, I worked out, I did all those fun things. But I also do want to update my bullet journal and make sure like I'm on the right track to complete stuff for Aurelium. So yeah, I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to check in with you guys about this. Again, this is like the 5th book in a series, but I do really like it. I just love Aru's character. The characters are basically have to work against another character to save the day, and I'm here for it. There is a prophecy element to this story, and I really am liking it. So I'm going to try to make some progress on this, see how long this takes me. I don't know what I'm going to read this weekend. I have some options. But yeah, so I'm going to go prep my bullet journal, and then I'm going to go start reading this. And when I get up to page 100, I'll give you guys a check-in. Let's do a little bit of a check-in. I did wind up getting up to page about 86 in Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality. I do love Ronnie Choshke's writing style like a lot. I've always liked it, especially in this series. And I think that with a series with such a big cast of characters like this, I think the book series did this. What it did really interestingly was that every book you sort of met a new character. It's been like a trio of characters for most of the book, but as the story went on, you met different Pandava sisters. So you sort of grow and enjoy all of them in different ways. I think at this stage, book 4 was probably my favorite. But I really just like all the characters, and it's just great. I think it's just a very, very unique retelling, and the mythology is one that I have not read before, so I'm really liking that quite a bit. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. Tomorrow is Friday, which is always nice. Friday is always my, it's just a day that tends to go either really slowly or really, really fast, just depending on the day. We're also heading into break next week. We have Friday off, which is super exciting, but that means the kids are going to be craving break like we all are, even me. So we will see how that goes. But yeah, I think I'm going to go get ready for bed and organize. I might actually read this tomorrow morning when I'm getting ready for work. We will see. But I also did want to say that because I finished my audiobook, which was a carryover from last month. I did pick up John Green's nonfiction book, and I am really liking it right off the bat. He is sort of going about it in like a nonfiction way, but he's talking a lot about climate change and the impact that we have on the environment. And I'm really liking it. I really like him as a writer. I just think he's interesting, and I like his point of view. So I'm going to go get ready for bed, and I'll probably update you guys tomorrow when I come home. I am so bummed that I was not able to read this today. It just did not work, but I am really liking this one a little bit better. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends. I'm here today to start a new reading vlog. It is April 8th. It is a weekend reading vlog. I really am going to focus this weekend on relaxing and reading. I feel like I haven't been reading as much as I wanted to. I had a bit of a struggle reading week this week just because I picked up One Night Breaks by Janelle Angeles and feel like I really shouldn't have been reading it because I felt really lost, and I should probably go back and read the first book in that series. But I did wind up picking up Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality, and I've been reading that. I'm about like 150. I'm on page 130 right now. I really am enjoying it. I like that all the characters have sort of got their own moment. It's also the last book in the series, so there's a lot to wrap up, but I'm quite fond of it right now. Like, I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'll check in with you guys when I get up to page 150, and then I'll check in again later. But I hope you guys are doing well and being safe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, friends. Here it is April 9th. It is Saturday. It is just a crappy weather day today. It's just very, very crappy weather-wise. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to read until I get to page 250, and then I think I'm going to work out. I want to try to work out every single day this weekend. Tomorrow's a little bit of a busier day, but I did wind up reading about 50 more pages between yesterday and today. We were getting to the crux of the story, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out. Can't say too much because I don't want to give spoilers. I'll give spoilers at the very, very end, but I really like how it's winding up. I like how all the characters are back together. It has elements of my favorite stories in the past that I really have enjoyed, but I really like Arusha's journey in this whole series, and I love how really all the main characters are getting moments. There's also some really, really fun stuff. I think it's a nice balance between fun stuff and hard stuff. but I'm really liking it. So I'm going to read about another 50 pages. I'll give you guys a check-in, and then I'm going to go work out. Bye, friends. Just checking back in. It is about 10:30. I did wind up reading to page 250 in Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality. This book is definitely getting really fun. It's just like it's a nice concluding book. Again, I feel like every main character is sort of getting its moment, and Minnie is one of my favorite characters. I think if I was ever in a Rick Riordan Presents novel, I would be the character of Minnie because she is very much like me. But yeah, I really do like it. I'm excited. Hopefully I get to finish this book today. I did wind up working out. I wound up listening to a little bit of my audiobook, which is the 4th book in the Veronica Speedball series. I don't know the title because I haven't put it on Goodreads yet. I also have been debating if I want to do a book library on something just to sort of see what books I have. So I'm kind of contemplating that. That might be like a break project because it is going to take me a long time. I had it at one other system that I really didn't like. So I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently. But that is my plan. I'm going to go set up my posts for Instagram for the next week. I'm going to listen to a little bit of my audiobook. And then when I get up to page 300, I'll give you guys another check-in. My friends. The plan. I did wind up setting up my posts for Instagram. I wound up listening to a podcast instead. I always get distracted. But I wound up being able to participate in Quidditch Live, which is through MuggleCast, and they have like this gameplay where you like do Harry Potter trivia. It's really, really fun. I always lose. I especially knew I was going to lose this round because I am not the best at movie trivia, especially the Crimes of Grindelwald movies, and their questions were really obscure, but it was super fun. I also did read about 10 more pages of Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality as I was waiting for that. So yeah, my goal is to read another 50 pages, and then I'll give you guys another check-in. I am liking this. We're getting right to the tail end of the story, and I'm really looking forward to see how this story wraps up. It's really, really enjoyable. Sorry for the angle swap. My voice is a little bit shot today, so I think I'm gonna wait to film. Maybe I'll film later. We'll see. But that is the plan. So I'm gonna go read about 50 more pages of this, and then I'll give you guys a check-in when I get up to page 300, and then we'll see how I feel. But so far, I think it's a really solid conclusion, and I'm really enjoying it. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, friends. Larry here, I'm back. I wound up finishing about 50 more pages in Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality. I really say Aru, and throughout this whole series, has really grown on me. There definitely was an element in this story that I did not see coming. I like that. I'll spoil it at the very, very end of this reading vlog because I do want to talk about it. But I just love the dynamics between Bryn, Aru, and Minnie. And Minnie had a moment that I just loved in the story. Again, as I'm saying, Minnie is one of my favorite characters. So I'm just loving that, like, you're really getting all of the characters that have a moment of, like, their heroic moment. And I always say when I read middle grade, I look for those hero moments because middle grade readers always want to be the winner, and middle grade students always want to be the hero in their own story. So I like that there is like 5 very distinct characters in the story, and each do get a moment like that. They'll lead to a conclusion. I'm really liking it. I'm enjoying it. It's probably going to be a 5-star read for me, honestly. So yeah, I'm going to read the next 50 pages. Actually, I'm probably going to wrap it up because I only have about 50 pages left. So I'm going to finish this book, come back in, we'll chat, and I'm going to decide about what I want to read next because I'm a little bit conflicted. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, friends. Larry here, I'm back. I just want to do an update, say that I did wind up finishing Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality. I really did like this book, like, quite a bit. I think it's going to be a 5-star read for me just because I really liked it. I think it ended the series super well. I think it had a nice balance between all of the characters in this story, and there are a lot. If you could see them, there are 5 on this cover. And I just loved how this story wrapped up. It reminded me a lot of the Percy Jackson series and how that original series wound up, and then how Rick Riordan was able to come back and do a subsequent series, which is my preferred series. I love the Heroes of Olympus series. I just think that, like, you really grew to love Aru throughout all the books because she started off the first book, like, very unlikable. But as the book sort of went on, you sort of did feel her becoming more of a teenager and more of a young adult. The conversation in this book, because the book started off, all the characters, little spoiler, they lost all their signature Pandava weapons at the start of the story. So they're basically trying to save the world, and they're trying to stop the villains from getting the Nectar of Immortality, and her half-sisters on the other side. So that's really complicated. But you see them really struggling without their weapons and like how that affects them as a person. Minnie also has a really interesting arc as well because she is the daughter of death. I just really liked it. Or she's the reincarnation of the daughter of death. I really enjoyed it. I think that it was a really captivating story, very, very fast paced. I'm super happy that I picked it up. So I don't know what I'm going to read next because the next book I have to read is not one I can really watch my YouTube videos with. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a TV show to watch. So yeah, that's sort of my thought. I'm going to do my workout because I'm going to like a longer class tomorrow. I'm going to like a 2-hour class tomorrow. So I think I'm going to do my other workout today because I want to stay on track for that. Sorry that my voice is so hoarse. I keep losing my voice with laryngitis. It's just a thing. But I did finish Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality. I'm going to pick my next read and then I will chat with you guys about it. So talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. Here I'm back. So I am on quite a few blog tours at the end of the month. I'm actually on 3 that I still haven't read yet. I don't like being behind on my blog tour books because then I feel super stressed out. So I still have to read Alone Out Here, which is a science fiction book. I have to read it soon, so I'm going to read that one next. Then I have to read Sophie and the Bone Song, which I think will be my next read. And then I have to read a middle grade. So I think that those are going to be the 3 books that I take up this week just because they're quicker. And this book especially is science fiction and I really need to focus on it. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm not going to like, I'm so far behind on BookTube videos as well. My plan failed. It utterly failed. But that was because of Bridgerton. So I'm going to start this book, read like the first like couple of 50 pages. I can actually have page numbers when it is a PDF. So I could tell you what that is. I know it's a science fiction story, so but yeah, I'm gonna start this and I will give you guys my thoughts. I know nothing about it other than it is a science fiction novel. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, friends. I can never post it, but it's so frustrating that like we started this process 3 years ago. He really said he wanted one, and like I fell for it. Like, I fell for it. I should not have because it's just been like one thing after the other. And it's almost like if you don't want a dog, that is okay. But don't string someone along for 3 years and then just say, oh, no, we're not getting the dog. Because that's just mean. Like, that's like a little bit cruel almost. Like, it really is. Like, I don't think I would ever call him cruel. But that's kind of cruel to do that to someone. And it's really frustrating. Like, you know, I knew 3 years ago we like getting a dog was like it was a fantasy and like so many years down the road. But then he decided to start down this path and he has to make it so complicated. It has to be a purebred German Shepherd. It has to be this. It has to be that. It has to be the perfect color. Like, if you want a dog and you really want a dog, then you would not have made this complicated. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I feel like he does not want a dog and he just was stringing me along. And that's just so mean. Like, it just is. It's just mean. You know, I really hope maybe he's just thinking about it and maybe my mom can convince him. But, you know, it's almost like if you don't want a dog, then, like, we won't get a dog. But then just, like, stop talking about it. Because you've consistently talked about it for 3 years. We fenced in our backyard. I fixed the roof. I did all these things. I put my money aside. I said I would pay for the dog monthly. I don't know what else I could possibly could do. But I know what I have to do now if we don't get this dog. Once I book my trips, my 2 trips I really want to do, my England one and my London one, or my Italy one, and maybe one to Scotland and Ireland, which are my dream places to visit, I will consider moving to New York City because that is something that will allow me the time and the allowance and the less of a commute to actually have a dog. So he may not think that that's where this is going to go. It may not happen tomorrow. Grandma and Grandpa is still here, thank the heavens. But that's where it's going to go. And I don't think he's going to like that because then, you know, then he's going to be like, well, so I don't know. But I feel very, very frustrated. I feel very, very frustrated. I'm here to wrap up this reading vlog. I did wind up changing this reading vlog around like 4 times. So I'm just going to call it a middle grade reading vlog because I really read 2 middle grade Rick Riordan present books that I didn't really plan to read in this reading vlog. I finished reading Tristan Storm Punches a Hole in the Sky, which I really did like. Then I DNF'd When the Night Breaks because I couldn't get into it. I need to reread book 1. And then I also finished my audiobook for my historical romance audiobook, which I really did like. And then I finished reading Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality, which is the final book in that series. I really did like that book. Definitely a new fan favorite. And then I started reading another book, but I didn't get enough reading into it. It really wasn't capturing me, so I picked up the audiobook, and that will be what I'm going to go into in my next reading vlog. So I will see you guys there. Stay safe and be well. And let me know in the comments what are some books you've been loving recently. Definitely for me would be Arusha and Tristan Storm. Both were really, really strong. Bye, friends.